What's going on YouTube? This is Ross's Reef, bringing you a quick update. This is about, I'd say, a 2.5 month update of the tank. Had a lot of ups and downs with this tank so far. On the coral side, almost nothing but positive. On the fish side, I've had a couple problems over the course of the tank being set up. Lost a couple fish. Have not lost a single coral since I started. When I got all my coral, they were all in good health or whatever, and every single one has just flourished. I guess I found the right combination of lighting, water movement, and balance of chemicals in the water. Let me quick go over the equipment that I am using on this tank. This is the Nuvo Fusion Innovative Marine 20-gallon tank. It is on the stand for the Nuvo Fusion 20-gallon. As far as filtration, water movement, I have the Vortec MP10 Quiet Drive is the new one, wireless. The little controller is mounted right there on the side of the tank. I also have the Innovative Marine spin screen pumps to add a little bit of extra water movement in here. I know I would bet money if it was not for this Vortec MP10, my tank would not look as good and be flourishing as it is. I have no dead spots in this tank. Even under this cave right here, there's no algae growth or anything. This Vortec makes water movement all over the tank. And also the rock setup, my aquascape does contribute to allowing water movement to flow all over the tank. So do add a little contribution to that. As far as lighting, I am running the Radion RXW15 Pro, I believe it is. It is on the RMX mount that Radion does sell as well. Very good light. I do like the controllability of that light, the colors that you can produce, and you can control every individual LED channel and set it to whatever intensity you want. It's just an amazing light. All my corals seem to be growing very, very well under that light, so I have no problems with that. As far as filtration, I have basically 3 forms of filtration going on here, guys. I have your standard chemical filtration, you know, running carbon and GFO. Also, I have in the chambers, in this chamber, I have a custom caddy where I am running filter floss, and then in the chambers below that has a little carbon and GFO, and then more filter floss. On this chamber over here, I just added this. I don't know how much I like it. We'll see. It was only $10. This is the filter sock that they make for Innovative Marine. I got it off Amazon for $10. Like I said, it's not bad. We'll see how well it works. I mean, my tank is clear right now, but I'm going to see if it is beneficial or not. On the back right here, this may be something that some of you don't really have on your tank. This is the CPR hang on the back, small Aquafuge 2 Refugium. I got this because I wanted to have a Refugium on the back. Not necessarily for the biological filtration when I first started, but because I wanted to get a green mandarin goby, and they do eat copepods, so that is a safe place for copepods to be able to reproduce in my tank. I do have quite a bit of copepods in here. Normally they're all over the glass, however I just cleaned the glass off yesterday, so they haven't quite conjugated on the back on the glass yet. If you want to go check out an older video, copepod outbreak, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The CPR hang on the back Refugium, I am running a Chaetomorpha algae in the back there. As far as lighting, Aquafuge CPR makes a light that you can buy, but I just went to Home Depot and got this standard little LED fixture and put it on top, and it's working great. It's growing my Chaetomorpha. Keep my heater in the back here as well, and I also am running a UV sterilizer in the back of the protein skimmer as well. It's just a little green machine, 9-watt UV sterilizer. I don't really know how effective it is, but it's whatever. It, you know, it doesn't hurt anything in the tank, so I had it lying around, so I put it on. As far as I have a protein skimmer, this is the Innovative Marine desktop protein skimmer, and it works pretty good, guys. When I first got it, it was kind of noisy or whatever. I wasn't too thrilled with the noise level. It produced quite a bit of micro bubbles, but after, you know, just some simple tweaking and playing with the level of it and everything, it works pretty good. As you can see, I don't really have any micro bubbles at all in the tank. The tank remains pretty clear constantly. I did put some filter floss in the front right here, and then also in the back on that line, just to keep it a little bit higher. I don't like it necessarily low. And then I put a little filter floss right there because that's where some of the micro bubbles come out of. I did raise, I like having it high up because I like producing a very thick skim mate. There's not too much skim mate in there right now. I just emptied it, so it's just starting back up. And that's pretty much equipment on the tank. Well, let me go down here real quick. Let me turn on the light so y'all can actually see a little bit. Down here, I have quite a few chemicals, as you can see. Let me see if I can turn on a flashlight of some type here, maybe. No, I don't think so. Anyway, I do have my own dosing bottles. As you can see, I have an alkalinity, magnesium, and calcium. Each one of these dosing bottles is homemade. They were made from Voss drinking bottles. I simply emptied the Voss drinking water out of it, scrubbed the writing on the sides off and everything, cleaned them out, and simply drilled a little hole in the top of the bottle. I drilled it very, very precise and tight to where they have a little tube that is run down in each of those. And then I have these little valves coming out of each one where I can tune in the amount of liquid that actually gets dosed in. I have them all set on individual timers down here. These are digital timers, so they do cost a little bit more, but I can dial into exactly 1 minute precisely at whatever time of the day I want, whatever day of the week, however many days of the week I want, for however long I want. So, you know, they're beneficial. I think they were like $15 a piece. I have a couple of them, one for the auto top off on the water, as you can see there. I actually don't have an auto top off system. Instead, I have a timer, you know, where I fine-tune the water, and then I basically figured out how much water evaporation is going on each day, and it just dumps in that amount of water. It's pretty precise. You know, my water stays fairly constant. Maybe one day when I have a little bit more money, or I want to blow some money on something on the tank, I'll get an actual auto top-off system, but for now this is working fine. My water level stays constant. It never overflows the tank. I've managed to dial that in safely. Anything else? Just a ton of chemicals. I'll go over that maybe one day. A lot of that is for the coral themselves, nutrition and everything like that. Let me give y'all a quick view on the back of the tank. Let me turn on the Refugium light down here. That way y'all can maybe see a little bit more. That's the Refugium light right there. As you can see, you got some my Chaetomorpha in there growing and everything like that. It's going pretty good. On the back side down here, you can see all the little Aquatom pumps. Each one of those is for the calcium, alkalinity, water, and magnesium. They are all put on little tubes, timers, and everything. Those are the ones that are hooked up to the timers down there. And then they get dosed into the tank via this little contraption that I made. It's made out of like plexiglass, I think. I just got all the tubes. This one right here is my water. This one's calcium, alkalinity, and magnesium. Have the water come on probably about 5 minutes, 6 minutes a day at full blast. I'm not exactly sure how much milliliters that doses, but I know I have the calcium, alkalinity, and magnesium all tuned to dose 20 mils a minute. So whenever I want to add more, I simply just add a minute to the timer. Right now, I believe I'm dosing probably around 50 to 60 mils of each a day, with the exception of the magnesium that gets dosed once a week, and that probably doses around 50 to 60 mils itself. So other than that, that is the amount of calcium and alkalinity that is being put into this system. Everything is doing good in this tank, as you can see. Going to coral right here. These are my Rasta zoanthids. If you remember in a couple videos, I used to only have 2, but now I have 4. There is the 1, 2, 3 that you can see right there, and then underneath that big one, there is another one. So really happy that those guys are doing good. Over here we have a devil's hand coral, your candy cane. Got a bicolored, supposed to be a hammer coral, but it doesn't really look like a hammer to me. I don't know what it is. I like LPS coral, so it was just cool. It was cheap. I picked it up. Down here I have red flower pot coral, a little frag of it. We have green bird's nest, some more variety of zoanthids. I know that's my eagle eye right there. Here's the little Fromia, I think, starfish right there. A really cool looking guy. Shows up really good in the tank. Over here we have some Leonardo zoas. This is a Hollywood cap, I think, something like that. I'm not sure. That's another type of Montipora over there. encrusting. It's got a very good polyp extension, as you can see. I'm looking to, these are both my brand new corals. This one on the left of the ORA tricolor coral, which is in the middle right there. The left and the right two are new. I got them from my local pet store. Looking for a spot to mount those. I'm currently thinking of mounting this one towards the top right there because it is an encrusting coral, and there's not much room, as you can see, for any other coral up there, so I figure a nice encrusting one will be good. Plus it gets a fair amount of light being up there. Not sure where I'm going to place that one yet, still deciding. Going over here we have the frog spawn, purple tip, green frog spawn right here. Doing really good. This was the very first coral I had in the tank. It's just grown. It has split into two separate heads already. I don't know if you can kind of see. Over here we have my rose bubble tip anemone. Doing really good, guys. I know I did a separate little video on that if you check it out. You know, the growth and care of the anemone. I have no problems with it now. Got a little Kenya tree that's just grown over the past like 2 weeks or a week that I've had it. Green star polyps right here are just encrusting all over this rock, looking very good. We have a Duncan coral right here. Some more little tiny pieces of this type of bicolored whatever. Don't really care about those guys that much. That's literally the size they are. I was pretty ticked when I got those. Got some pulsing zinnia, Hollywood stunner chalice right there. And as far as livestock right now in the tank, I have a cleaner shrimp right here, and then in this rock down there lives a little firefish, and then towards the back, up there he is, you can kind of see, there he is, a little watchman goby up back in your hole. He's got a little pistol shrimp buddy down there. They live in this, under this rock right here. They got a whole little cave system going on. I did lose a couple fish. I lost both of my clownfish, guys. I don't know what happened. I know one of them, all of a sudden something happened with his tail, and he like lost his tail. I don't know if something bit it, a crab or something, and he basically died from that. And then the other clownfish that I had, I took him out of the tank originally because he was not looking good. He did not want to eat. He started to get sick and everything like that. And I put him in a quarantine tank with copper. He got better, looked good. He still just wouldn't eat. He just remained skinny. If you can see from my last couple videos, he was very skinny and everything, and I've been feeding him mysis shrimp with garlic and vitamins, supplements, and pellets, everything I can think of, and he just didn't make it. So I'm currently clownfishless in this tank right now. I do want to get some more, but as of right now, I think I'm just going to get coral for a little while and not focus so much on fish. My two fish that I do have in here, though, the firefish and the watchman, are super insanely healthy. Both those guys, any type of food that comes in the tank, they jump on it. I'm not worried about them. I did have a blue tang in here, and I had an accident in the tank that caused him to get stressed out. It wasn't necessarily the accident itself, but it's my interventions that did. One of my pumps malfunctioned and dosed an entire bottle of calcium into the tank, and I freaked out about it and did like a 90% water change on this tank to bring the calcium levels back down. The calcium being that high really didn't have any effect on it, and I should have probably slowed down and thought about it. But I just changed water without properly getting the water that I was adding into the tank to the tank level, and basically the entire tank level temperature dropped a couple degrees, and that stressed him out. He was eating very well. I had seaweed in there for him every day. He was actually using the Innovative Marine seaweed grazer, you know. He was looking good. I was really happy about him and everything. And then I stressed him out because I fluctuated the temperature. I know those guys are very susceptible to ick, and I should have probably been more careful on that, but he was a baby little tang and he was doing fine in here. I've seen other little baby tangs in smaller tanks than this one, and they do fine until they outgrow. I did plan on putting him in a bigger tank or giving him to somebody later on when he got a bigger size, but he didn't make it. So yeah, guys, the only real trouble I've ever had in this tank is with fish. As far as my coral growth, though, you can see it just grows and grows and grows. I am hoping to go to this one guy. He's about 3 hours away from me, unfortunately, but he has a huge selection of coral for cheap. So I plan on making one good trip out to him and stocking this tank fully. And that'll basically probably almost do it for the amount of coral that I'll have in here. As you can see, I am starting to get decently packed in here. You know, I'm gotta leave a little bit of room for these zoanthids to expand and everything. I'm hoping those rostas really take off and just kind of, you know, grow all over that rock right there. I will probably later on down the road attempt fragging and maybe selling some, or just fragging and letting some grow out on some little frag stones and everything or whatever. But for the time being, just hoping everything keeps growing like it is. I will be doing more updates on any fish or anything like I get. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns on anything you saw in this video, any equipment, how I did it, just leave a comment and I will get back to you as soon as possible, guys. I do try to reply to those when I see them. I know I've helped a couple people with some questions they have, so if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and I will be doing more updates on this particular tank, guys. So this has been Ross's Reef, signing off.